Welcome back, Wagoneers, to another exciting segment of In No Particular Order. Today, the Wagons are going to do their top 5 DC comic book characters. Who wants to take it away?
Well, we're going to start this segment off. We're going to start this segment off with a shot.
Christian Bale.
Limited fake Batman over here.
Sean, would you like to tell us what we're shooting?
Don't mention it.
Some pumpkin spice rum chata.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, tis the season.
What is this for?
I don't have any chips and salsa to go with it. But
We're shooting for a Saints successful season that they can rebound next week.
Gotta beat the Dirty Birds.
Get back on the wagon.
We got to. Cheers.
Cheers. Wagons up.
Very good.
And as good as the peppermint one. Should.
That one's fucking awesome.
not gonna lie, I've been drinking the pineapple cream over the ice and down the bottle.
A little cinnamon.
Yeah, it's not. I
lot
don't
of
know if it
cream,
quite
though.
compares to my eggnog.
I would say that would be really good in some eggnog.
Remind me to skip that
The
one.
brand of
I was gonna
liqueur that I
say,
use.
the whole time I was drinking that pineapple cream rum I was like, it has a familiar taste, and it just, I guess it's eggnog.
Well,
Not that eggnog is pineapple flavored.
I'll go first with the top 5. This one was actually a good bit harder than when we did the Marvel one earlier.
It was hard.
It was rock hard.
I mean, there's just not as many, I don't think, movies that we could think of as DC related. I mean, mostly we think of Batman, Superman, Aquaman. Those are kind of the main superheroes off of DC, and then you can spit off some Suicide Squad, things like that.
What is She-Hulk?
That's Marvel.
Fuck. Alright, continue.
So I'm going to keep mine to just simply a top 5 today. I know that's a pretty rare thing. But,
Whoa! Just 5.
alright, so number 5, I'm going to start with a character from the Suicide Squad. And, Suicide Squad had some neat characters in it. I didn't know much about the comic until I saw the movie. I actually really liked the character El Diablo. And he's got the kind of tattooed skeleton face, and he's able to light himself on fire, light other things on fire. I thought he was a really neat character. He kind of sacrifices himself for everybody at the end of the movie.
Was that the Troubled Youth one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he's going to get my number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go with the big, muscled-up luchador wrestler. I know in the Dark Knight series, he kind of breaks away a little bit from the luchador and kind of has more of a, grown up in an orphanage, has this mask on his face. But Tom Hardy did a great job playing him in the Dark Knight, and that's going to be Bane. Bane is going to come in at my number 4.
Was he the Troubled Youth guy?
He must have been, because he was in an orphanage with what's the other guy's name?
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul. So he'll have a couple of different, for people who are struggling, throwing some characters out there.
I'm filling in my list as we go.
So number 3, this character I did not become familiar with until the Gotham series that came on TV. And that is going to be, the character, he's kind of like a hitman type serial killer. And every time he kills a victim, he marks his skin with the number of people that he killed. And that's going to be Victor Zsasz. So Victor Zsasz is going to come in at my number 3. I thought Anthony Carrigan did a really good job playing him in the Gotham series. So he kind of, made me like that character.
And I know Travis is a big collector of figures, and he has the Gotham Victor Zsasz figure, but there's a really cool one where he's kind of got the prison shackles still on him, and he's shirtless and he's jacked, and he's got the fucking hash marks all over him. I'm pretty sure it's expensive as shit, but it would be a really cool figure to add to your collection if you could ever get it for a low price.
Number 2, I'm going to go with the arch enemy of Superman, and that is going to be Lex Luthor. I think that there's been a couple of really cool Lex Luthor renditions done in the movies. I remember one of my first figurines I had as a kid was of Lex Luthor. Still have that figure. It's in my man cave.
Gene Hackman, rest in peace.
And also Kevin Spacey played him in one of the movies as well.
Gene Hackman died.
I don't know.
Gene Hackman didn't die.
He looks pretty bad though.
I just hope he sleeps in peace, you know?
Russell was
So
saying truth there.
Lex Luthor comes in at my number 2, and then my favorite DC character of all time, which is gonna, even if I had to throw comic book characters in, he'd probably be, 1 or 2 up in there as well. I think he's more of one of the more underrated Batman villains. He doesn't get the credit that the Joker quite gets, or the Penguin, or even Mr. Freeze at that. And that's going to be Two-Face. Harvey Dent is going to be my favorite DC character.
Harvey Dent.
I thought he was played very well by both Aaron Eckhart and but more so for me, I really like the Tommy Lee Jones version in Batman Forever. I know that was in my Jim Carrey top 5. So number 1 is going to be Two-Face.
Harvey Dent.
In my mind, if I go second,
Go ahead.
one honorable mention, and my list is going to be very quick, just like my Marvel list was, because I am not a big comic person, and I don't know a lot of the backstories on people, but I'm going to make it quick. Number 6 is Catwoman, and it's only because of Halle Berry.
Not Anne Hathaway.
She can get it too. Number 5 was The Flash.
No love for Michelle Pfeiffer.
She can also get it. Number 5 is The Flash, because when I was a kid, and I was small, but I was fast, and I always wanted to be the Flash.
Fast as fuck, boy.
This gonna be a fuck boy?
That's what I just heard.
That's rude.
Fast as fuck.
Sweet Jesus.
Jeez, I'm really aggressive with that. Anyway, yeah, the Flash is my number 5, because when I was growing up, I liked the costume, but I wanted to be the Flash because I thought I was fast. Okay. Number 4 is Superman. Just the ability to fly was always really cool to me. I like the.
You can also see through clothes too, right?
X-ray specs.
I like the Clark Kent going into the phone booth and coming out as Superman, in more than just a physical changing of clothes, what it represented in a sense as well. My number 3 is Bane, mostly from The Dark Knight. Number 2 is the Joker, just that dark role, and not the protagonist. What's the being an antagonist? Played by some really good characters in like real actual movies.
Favorite Joker.
Heath Ledger.
It's the only Joker.
Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
They got some good ones, but Heath Ledger probably still the best.
Best live action.
And number 1 is going to be Batman. Just I like that he didn't really have so much a superpower. He was more just had a lot of strength and gadgets.
He had a belt.
He had money.
As I say, it's to be rich.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
Money.
But it's not like he was like a mutant or something like that. He doesn't have like a traditional superpower per se. He just had gadgets and toys from money. And some of his backstory being an orphan and things like that, it's all really cool, but Batman's number 1. I'm done.
Favorite rendition.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Christian Bale.
Number 2.
I could go next if y'all want.
Go ahead.
All right. So
Like, listen, I have like an entire female.
It's not going to throw a curveball again.
honorable
Is there
mentions.
going to be a Mel Clark sitting on this one?
Honorable mentions. The Diddler.
Cousin of the Riddler.
He was fast as fuck, boy.
Stop calling me a fuckboy.
Does he have? Is that a weapon? Does he use sex toys?
The Diddler was very
Older
fierce.
dildo.
Wait, what were his weapons? Does he have like a rubber dildo on like a handle? He can just fling at you and throw like a boomerang.
Baby will.
Wasn't that Gasmo with the gun?
Yes,
We have the dildo doing that.
Next honorable mention, Alfred.
He is a DC character.
He is a DC character.
Did anybody see the Pennyworth series?
When did that come back?
Oh, I don't even know what
Your
that
face.
was
Boom. Roasted.
on. It was probably one season.
So Alfred
Sorry.
He was behind Batman. And
Oh my god.
without Alfred, you wouldn't have Batman. Just saying.
Are we still on honorable mention?
Yeah, still on.
I'm just stunned now on that one.
Why not? Okay, why not?
I'm sorry. Now I'm picturing the diddlers having like nunchucks, but they're dildos with a chain link, and he's just swinging around.
Warning, kids, this one's an R-rated one.
My next honorable mention is Rorschach from The Watchmen.
Oh, there you go.
Pretty cool. I saw The Watchmen, the movie. I really wasn't into the cartoon, the cartoons or comics, I should say. But the movie was pretty awesome. All right, so my top 5 here. Bane, because of The Dark Knight. I thought that was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah. His Hispanic roots don't have anything to do with it, right?
No. Pretty cool character. I like him. The next one, the Joker, and like you mentioned earlier, Heath Ledger killed it on that. That was the best Joker for me. Next one on the list is Aquaman. Got into it with the new movies, with what's his name?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
You like his bod?
He's got a good bod.
Body.
He's got a good bod.
Body.
And I hate
Pretty
it
cool.
for Jason Momoa for making like one of the nerdiest characters on the planet
Yeah.
into like a buff, like awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Aquaman was always shit on.
So
for
the
years.
cartoon
They probably did that
Aquaman was
intentionally.
absolutely a joke, but the movie was pretty phenomenal.
What do they call him on South Park? Seaman, and the sidekick was Swallow. Seaman and Swallow. It's Seaman.
Number 2 on the list is Batman. Pretty much for all the reasons that were already mentioned. Dark Knight, when Christian Bale played him, I think that was the best Batman in my opinion.
So my question I was going to ask you, but
Yeah, Christian Bale. Michael Keaton, I didn't really care for. I mean, I was in my childhood, but I didn't really care for him.
Christian.
I think Ben Affleck actually did a better job.
So I didn't see that one, so I can't really comment on it. I just remember.
I just hate Affleck as Batman.
I just remember like the 1994. I think it was 94 for that Batman with the logo with the gold color just spinning around, and that was actually my first real introduction to Batman outside of some of the Adam West cartoon from back in the day.
I was about to say Adam West.
Because I remember that growing up, but then there was a long hiatus where I didn't pay attention to like the Batman series in any way.
I watched a lot of Adam West Batmans back in the day.
How y'all feel about the new Batman with
Pattinson?
Yeah,
I thought it was a good movie.
I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah,
I think Colin Farrell as the Penguin is.
And then my number 1, man, I watched this probably more than any Marvel character growing up, and I loved it. I loved the old Nick at Night shows with Superman with.
With Dean Cain?
Yeah, no. This is the Dean Cain one was awesome too. I like that one, but this was like the black and white one that aired on TV.
That was Lois and Clark, right?
Yeah, Lois and Clark was Dean Cain.
Lois and Clark, yeah.
But I'm talking about the black and white one that you used to see on like Nick at Night or whatever.
Dean Cain kind of
That
fell
was
off the planet.
No, it wasn't. No, this was like.
No, that was Batman.
Yeah, no, this is Superman.
Yeah, Superman.
Superman, I think, has the best powers. Out of most superheroes. So number 1 for me is Superman.
Yeah.
I'll go next. I'm going to give one honorable mention. That's King Shark. Now, I first liked him because in his comic book version, he's an hammerhead. And hammerheads are my favorite type of sharks. I thought when he was in the Suicide Squad movie, he was funny. It was Sylvester Stallone that voiced him. I kind of was disappointed, though, that they made him look like a regular shark instead of a hammerhead.
Top 5 sharks.
But he's cool. Number 5, I'm going to go with the Joker. And easily he could probably be higher, but it's just not obscure enough for me. So many good renditions of him. Again, Heath Ledger is my favorite, but at the same time, I mean, I like the new Joaquin Phoenix version of him. The Nicholson was a good one too.
Now we're 74.
74. So Joker is number 5. Actually, I mean, one thing, the Gotham version is often pretty underrated too. That dude was a really talented
That
actor.
whole series is underrated. It's really good.
Number 4, Mike also had him on his list, and that's Rorschach from The Watchmen. The movie in and of itself, it's a good movie. It's just very, very long. Rorschach, in my opinion, is hands down the best character in that movie, most intriguing one. He's kind of like a vigilante.
He appears a lot in our group text when somebody says
the famous "do it" meme.
Oh, that's what that dude is?
Yeah, that's him without his mask.
He's not the blue dude with his dog hanging out all the time.
No.
That's Dr. Manhattan.
That's not Manhattan. And played by Jackie Earle Haley, the same guy that played Freddy Krueger in the new Nightmare on Elm Street movie. They actually Rorschach.
Oh.
No, blue dude was Billy Crudup.
Oh, Billy Crudup, yeah.
They did a little spin-off series that was on HBO, it was the Watchmen series, and of course Rorschach is not in it. But at the same time, there's like a cult that kind of follows him that's doing like murders to kind of start off the series.
Moida.
I mean, also this, of course, the ink blot test mask. I mean, it's just
pretty
really
awesome.
cool how it changes with all his emotion and stuff.
I do like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. As you said that, I'm like, I know that character.
Number 3, Captain Boomerang from the Suicide Squad. I mean, if you go look at him back in the old comics, he was kind of dressed like a kind of like a total dork. He had like curly reddish hair. His dressing almost looks like a flight attendant suit. However, Jai Courtney's version in the Suicide Squad movie, I mean, Jai Courtney in and of himself is fucking jacked, and he's comical. I feel like he actually makes that movie, but
He's still getting work. I haven't heard his name a lot lately.
I think the last movie I saw he was in, this one movie called Black Site or something like that. Anyways, Boomerang's one of my 3. Number 2. And I stumbled across this character while Camden was watching a show. It was a little DC cartoon series, and it's Booster Gold. I kind of got attracted to this guy because he was funny. He's kind of like a Deadpool type character, but he's
She's like, who the fuck is that?
I'm Googling who it is.
he's just like Deadpool in his sense of humor, but he's not as vulgar as Deadpool. And of course, he can't like regenerate, and that would kind of be hard to be killed.
He looks very Californian.
Who's that character that Dane-
Basically, he's a star athlete that becomes a superhero.
What is that?
His character is basically supposed to be this muscular, blonde-haired, blue-eyed type guy.
Nice package.
He's partnered with the Blue Beetle. The movie just came out. The Blue Beetle movie just came out.
That was a good movie.
And I was kind of stunned because I thought that he would for sure have a cameo in that movie, and he didn't. But he is getting his own movie, and the rumored actors that will be playing him are Lynn Powell, of course, because I think he would actually absolutely fit that. Sean William Scott, and the Indian dude that was in Eternals.
Was he? I know who you're talking about.
And I can't think of his name. He's jacked. He's a big, really muscular Indian guy.
I didn't realize the Blue Beetles was DC. If not, I would have probably said that more on intros.
He's actually Booster Gold's. Booster Gold is more like his sidekick. But they're kind of like a tandem, a duo.
Incredibly good duo.
And number 1 is Mr. Freeze.
Good one. Yeah, good
And again, so many good renditions of him as well. My favorite is the Batman the Animated Series, though. I mean, for y'all who've mentioned Batman, that is honestly probably, aside from Christian Bale, who's my favorite actor, Batman the Animated Series is probably. I mean, we did the cartoon top 10, cartoon top 5, and it was in my top 5. It's a really, really great cartoon, and I think if you go look at Mr. Freeze back in the day, especially when Batman was first created, he was kind of goofy looking, and his whole character was really goofy. And then the animated series kind of made him more of like that sinister villain. And believe it or not, as shitty as Batman and Robin was, and Arnold Schwarzenegger with his corny one-liners, I at least thought he looked really cool. But Mr. Freeze, and the fact that he's basically committing all these crimes to try and keep his wife alive, I think is also very, very cool. Mr. Freeze is my favorite.
So I'll jump in after that and to add in Mr. Freeze as my honorable mention because I completely forgot about him, and I absolutely love characters that have I don't want to say ulterior motives, but reasons for the good, not good reasons, but they're like he's doing this for a good outcome, like trying to save his wife.
Yep.
He's going about it in the wrong way, but I typically like character arcs that are involved in that. Let's start mine off. I had trouble not having stall back. So this it was a struggle. But I actually was able to pull out somebody I really enjoyed for number 5, which is Ozymandias, which is the villain in Watchmen, and I think he's a really interesting character because there tries to be this moral ambiguity kind of thing, like I'm doing this for the right reasons, uniting everybody, but it's just for his own personal narcissism, why he does what he does. But he's my number 5. Number 4, I actually have Harley Quinn, and specifically the one played by Kaylee Cuoco, whatever, in the animated series stuff. Yeah.
I was about to say, when was she Harley Quinn?
She's it's only the animated series.
I didn't know
it's
she
a
was
newer
there.
series, and it's very brutal. It's gory. It's just hilarious. It's
live action.
very well done.
No, so it's the new one.
It's newer. It's I think it's got like 3 or 4 seasons now, but it's funny. I love comedies, but she does it. She voice acts.
It's good.
It's good. 4.3 hearts.
I'm waiting for the live action.
4.3 out of 5.
My number 3 is the Riddler, and specifically Jim Carrey's the Riddler.
Not the Diddler.
Not the Diddler. Not to be confused with the Diddler. No shout-outs to the Diddler. Jim Carrey is just I adore comedy, so I love a lot of Jim Carrey movies, and his rendition of the Riddler is just funny. He's got some good one-liners. My number 2, I'm going to have to go with Batman from the 90s Batman animated series. It's one of my favorite DC properties or shows. It's phenomenal. I rewatched it recently, or I'll probably rewatch it again coming up pretty soon. What's his name? Is it Sean Conroy? What's the
Kevin Conway, huh?
Kevin? Yeah, something like that.
He just recently died.
And he passed recently, which is going to make me go watch this again. But phenomenal series, very dark, very ahead of its time, for lack of a better word. And then my number 1 is also from that show, and it's the Joker, and specifically because it's Mark Hamill, and he does phenomenal voice acting in it. It is my favorite version of Joker. Real life Joker. It's easily Heath Ledger. Yeah, Mark Hamill as the Joker, number 1.
I'll jump in since I'm right next to you. That same thing. I had a top 5, and I'm like, whatever. Well, Flash got knocked from 5 to 6 as an honorable mention because I put Mr. Freeze at number 5. So Flash was an honorable mention. I don't have much to say about Flash. I just thought he was a cool character. I didn't really keep up with him or anything like that growing up. But Mr. Freeze, of course, I feel like I'm doing my Arnold fandom a disservice since I like Arnold so much. And how can I forget Mr. Freeze with the cool off and all these stupid one-liners and shit like that. Number 4, I'm shocked that, well, I'm not shocked, but nobody mentioned Wonder Woman. I have to go with that.
All right, Wonder Woman, show us your pair. Robin, what are you looking at me for?
Which Wonder Woman?
I mean, I guess I didn't really was a fan of Wonder Woman growing up or anything like that, but I mean, I like the Gal Gadot, the recent ones, and my child's got a bunch of Wonder Woman, like a Barbie in there, and a couple other figurines. I have a couple of pop figures in the other room that I bought on a whim when I was all high on the first movie in 2017 when it came out. But I thought that one was well done. Not that I've seen a ton of these movies, and then top 3 is pretty similar. Riddler, Jim Carrey. I was all about everything Jim Carrey in the 90s, and seeing Batman Forever right after all of Ace Venturas and all that. It was like, oh, Jim Carrey's perfect for this. Not that I really knew the Riddler at the time, but yeah, he stood out to me in that movie. Then make number 1 and number 2 pretty quick is Batman and the Joker, but Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, because that was I had the VHS tape in 1989, and that was like probably my first superhero movie. And because it was kind of dark and for a kindergartner, that was a little rough. I mean, it probably was rated PG, but still to see the Joker with the hand buzzer and fries the dude, and it was like that's pretty horrifying for like a 6-year-old to see. A movie, and then his parents getting shot at the beginning. And it was like pretty disturbing in parts of that movie. But yeah, Nicholson's. I think kindergarten for Halloween, or like even that parade we had at school, I was the Joker with the purple, found a purple suit or something, and had the red paint, the red lips going up my cheeks and the white face paint and all that, and then Michael Keaton was. I mean, all the other Jokers and Batman. I don't know about the other Batmans, but sorry, Christian Bale. But Heath Ledger's Joker was awesome.
No
of course,
taken.
Joaquin Phoenix too, but I always got to go back to Nicholson.
I got another honorable mention. Danny DeVito and the Penguin.
Oh yeah, the Penguin. Yeah.
I thought about putting the Penguin as an honorable mention.
Oh, to note, to point out is that Batman and Batman Returns, Tim Burton, since, we're talking about Beetlejuice and stuff, and it's like, that's what made those two movies so unique is Tim Burton doing it, and it was, on the lines of Beetlejuice, and it was pretty creepy and kind of like horror, but not at the same time.
Surprised nobody's mentioned Batman's suit nipples.
That was in what? Forever?
So,
Returns?
yeah, I think it's
no,
Forever.
not Returns, Batman and Robin, the one. Was that Val Kilmer?
It's not. It's George Clooney.
Yeah, George Clooney's one was the suit.
Can we agree that they really like Robin?
Hey, Robin, what are you looking at me for?
It's just the bikini's Batman.
There's just nothing special about it.
I like Alfred over Robin.
Robin's good in
Says
Teen
a lot.
Titans.
Well, Robin does eventually, at least Dick Grayson eventually becomes
Nightwing.
Nightwing, which is a little bit cooler than
Yeah.
Robin. Well, that about does it for our DC top 5.
Pretty quick and efficient list.
Yeah, like Travis said earlier, that it seems like the DC universe just isn't as vast as the Marvel one. So you say that, but the comics are a whole lot darker than
I
Marvel.
looked up that Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe game, and I was like, people from DC selection on there was shit. It's like they have to do a Mortal Kombat versus Marvel or something. That would be a badass game.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Well, maybe
best
we-
fighting game ever.
Maybe we need to have what's the other one called? Injustice.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to have a pod where we're playing that game. It's a pretty cool game.
So
More than that, I love Marvel vs. Capcom, but the one that's close to my heart is X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Oh,
Yes.
that is a good one. Yeah.
With Wolverine and Gambit and all that.
Yeah.
And I bought the 30th anniversary collection on the Switch for Street Fighter, and it only had through Street Fighter 3 and the alphas. It didn't have X-Men versus Street Fighter. I was very disappointed in my purchase.
I have
Optic Blast.
nobody mentioned it either. It was very low on my list, and I was kind of debating whether to say it or not. But the Green Lantern was actually a pretty cool character.
I feel like Ryan Reynolds' initial.
No, not the movie.
His
the
initial
cartoon.
version of it just killed all
The
I
Green Hornet.
like for.
Yeah, no.
So,
not
does
the
anyone
movie.
like the Green Hornet? What is the Green Hornet?
So is
Green
Green
Lantern-
DC or Marvel?
I don't know. I thought they were both DC.
So Green Lantern was forgotten, but the Diddler was not.
They were both green.
The Diddler is very relevant to other
Is
conversations.
the Diddler green and wears question marks all over his suit?
We have
The Diddler. You know what his secret power is? The Rambone.